Okay, we are streaming live on YouTube. I'm ready. I'm bringing in Mr. Payne now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hello. Oh, what's up, man?
Hello, Mr. Payne. Officer Peacock, Officer Johnson, are you there? You could,
yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Officer Peacock.
Oh, wait, hold on one second. I'm going to
Yes,
call
Your
the
Honor.
case.
I'm here.
Okay, calling case Z806707, the people versus Damon Payne. Count one. Let me see if it's the same. Oh, there's two cases? There are multiple cases? Okay,
There's a ticket. There's a corresponding ticket as well, Your Honor.
okay, let me see. Okay, the count one, operating while intoxicated, misdemeanor, and then we also have case SP 108565541, City of Detroit versus Damon Payne. Count one, civil infraction disregarding traffic control device. Can I please have appearances for the record beginning with Madam Prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. May it please this honorable court, Tamika Horn on behalf of the city, P70303.
Thank you. All right, can I please have an appearance by Attorney Haitian?
Your Honor, good morning to you, Ms. Horn, the rest of the gallery, Vincent Haysha, P76506. With and on behalf of Mr. Payne, who appears via Zoom, we waive all issues as it relates to proceeding in that fashion, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And then can I have an appearance from Officer Peacock?
Officer Peacock badge 3946.
Thank you. And Officer Johnson?
Officer Johnson, Detroit Police, 3723.
Thank you. Today is the date and time scheduled for trial. For purposes of the record, my name is Christina Robinson Garrett. I was recently assigned to hear this case after the presiding judge that was assigned to this docket retired. My understanding off the record from Attorney Haysha is that Judge, there was another judge that heard this case in the interim after the retirement of the assigned judge who was assigned to hear this docket, who set it for purposes of a bench trial, but there was always an understanding that this was supposed to be a jury trial. And so Attorney Haysha is asking for an adjournment so that this matter can be scheduled for a jury trial. At the time, the court was not scheduling jury trial due to the current ongoing pandemic. And today, the court is still not holding jury trials in the courthouse, but we can tentatively schedule them starting in June of this year, is what I have been told by our administration. But I still do not have a confirmation on that. That's just a tentative date that they're expecting to be able to hold a jury trial in this court. At this time, if I can hear from Madam Prosecutor.
Your Honor, the people have no objection for purposes of due process to the defendant. And we have no objection, counsel, to your request for a jury trial after June 2021.
Okay. All right. All right. So right now, I'm going to mark this matter for a jury trial. Do we have a date that counsel, you all can see it works for you potentially for a jury trial? And that would be on a Tuesday.
Yeah, June 29th.
June 29th?
Yes.
Okay, no, you said there was another one?
No, that's a Tuesday. That's the last Tuesday of the month.
I may or may not be the judge hearing that case. I'm not sure. You said June 29th.
Is that at 9 a.m. or 8:30, Your Honor?
That's going to be at probably 10. Because
Okay.
Right, just so for the record is clear, I am assigned to docket 334. I'm just hearing docket 440 in addition to 334 every day. So
Okay.
I have to, when I schedule, that I can actually handle both.
Perfect. That's even better for us.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm thinking that's gonna be at 10 o'clock. And depending upon what the dockets look like for each.
I will. You don't have anything scheduled that day, Judge? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, that's right. You don't.
So that's
Yeah.
June 29th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, June 29th, 2021 at 10 a.m. Because the cases will be scheduled from docket management.
Correct.
Okay, so, all right, and so we will also adjourn the civil infraction for a formal hearing on that same date and time as well. We probably need to put together a scheduling order for purposes of the jury trial, if there's any discovery that's gonna be requested, and also, if there are any pretrial motions that are going to be filed, I need to put together a scheduling order for that as well. I will put together a scheduling order and have that sent to both counsel. Does Madam Clerk have your contact information so that can be provided to both attorneys?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we should get that out to you today.
Perfect. Thank you much, Your Honor.
All right, very well. You're very welcome. You all have a wonderful day and please be safe.
Thank
You
you,
as well.
counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If anything comes
You as
up,
well, thank you.
This picture to pop up. I hope it ain't the mono.
wait, I'm sorry.
That
Okay,
was an officer.
okay. If anything changes or comes up where you all are able to reach an agreement on this matter before the jury trial, please make sure you let the court know immediately.
Certainly.
Continued discussions, I hope will continue during the course of,
Ms. Horn, I'll give you a call off the record, Ms. Horn. And Judge, we'll see what we can do to see if we can get a resolution in the meantime.
And I think, Mr. Haitian, we've exchanged emails, correct?
I have your email. You sent me discovery, and I can email you perhaps a deviation. I'll speak to Mr. Payne and see where his
Okay.
head's at on that off the record.
Okay, good deal. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Hey, you all
both.
take care.
You too. Have a wonderful
Thank you, you
day.
all.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.
You're very welcome. We're gonna be.
Yeah, because a final pretrial has to be scheduled for Friday before.
Yeah. I'm gonna do all that.
Yeah.
You just get out.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
All right, so, can I now have Attorney Clayton Hardy-Petway?
Yeah, Hardy Petway is Lamar Williams, Judge. I had renamed him, but, he left out for some reason. The officer is, yeah, he's no whatever.
All right, Attorney Clayton and Mr. Petway?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna rename you for purposes. All right, we're ready to proceed with your case.
Yes, ma'am.
Case U 58231020, City of Wayne County versus Hardy Petway, count 1, misdemeanor narcotic and drug related violations. Appearances for the record.
Morning, Judge Spencer Clayton appearing on behalf of Mr. Petway, P number 77302, and I am standing in for the attorney of record in this case, which is Mr. Maurice Davis. Mr. Petway, is that with your permission that I stand in for Mr. Davis this morning?
Yes, sir.
And can you state your name for the record, please?
Hardy Petway.
And for the court reporter, Your Honor, I'm not sure if I put my P number down, 77302.
You did.
Thank you.
Today is the date and time scheduled for a trial in this matter, counsel. How would you like to proceed?
Judge, I was told that the officer had checked in, and Officer Tanner.
Officer Tanner did not check in.
Officer Tanner did not check into this courtroom today, counsel.
If that's the case, Judge, we would be moving to dismiss. Today is the date and time set for trial.
Okay, today's date and time scheduled for trial, and that was at 8:35 a.m. Currently, the court's time is 10:34 a.m. Officer S. Tanner of the Wayne County Sheriff's Department has failed to sign into this courtroom, failed to answer the court's call, and is currently not present. For these reasons stated, this court will dismiss this case for failure of the officer to appear and not ready to proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Any questions or concerns?
No, Judge.
Okay, you both have a wonderful day. Please be safe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
I think that's all the. I think we're gonna do Matthew. That's the, we did not do him. We have a Matthew Kolarski.
Can I do Mario Petway?
Okay,
Oh, no, can I do Pilarski?
Yes, Pilarski, because we have a
Yes.
probation here.
And it's, I'm not a concern.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so Pilarski. Mr. Fuller.
Oh, and Madam Prosecutor wants to speak to Officer Jackson.
Oh, can you log on? Yes, and then oh, you're right. Yeah, log on and I'll bring.
We'll put you in the breakout room. Yeah. Okay,
I'll bring in Sergeant Jackson now, put him in breakout room 1. When you come on, I'll automatically put you in breakout room 1. Thank you. You're welcome. Sergeant Jackson, I'm gonna place you in breakout room 1. Madam Prosecutor needs to speak with you. You can join first.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Attorney Bill, probation, and Mr. Pilarski, good morning to you. We are ready to proceed. Oh, you know what? Oh goodness, I put Pilarski in there and not you. I apologize, Sergeant Jackson.
Oh, she's already signed
No.
Okay, good morning.
Apologize. All right, you're both in breakout room 1. Thank you. All right, calling case Z80606111, City of Detroit versus Matthew Pilarski, count 1, operating while intoxicated. This matter is scheduled for, are we scheduled for a review today?
No.
No, we're here for a violation of probation. Oh, is this a violation of probation, arraignment, counsel?
It is, Judge, but me and Ms. McCall have a resolution, so I don't think we're gonna need to take testimony.
Okay, but I still need to know whether he's pleading, he's received written notice of the alleged violation, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, he has.
Okay, and he still, for purposes of,
We'll waive.
Yes, I need to know how you are waiving. Is he guilty, standing mute, no contest?
No, Judge, we're not gonna enter a plea today. I'll waive formal reading of the allegations. We're gonna adjourn this violation of probation hearing 3 months.
Okay,
In the interim, my client is going to be emailing Ms. McCall all of his proofs. He is going to, he's now been informed on how to make payments. He's gonna start making payments. And this violation of probation is gonna be adjourned for 3 months so Ms. McCall can assess and make sure that my client is doing what he's saying he's doing. And if I misspoke, Ms. McCall, let me know, but I think that's the general consensus.
all right, Officer McCall, if you could please put your name and Mr. Pilarski, please state your first and last name for the record.
Matthew Pilarski.
Thank you, and Officer McCall, you can also put an appearance on the record.
No problem. Michael McCall on behalf of the probation department, Your Honor.
Okay, can you bring me up to speed on exactly where we are? I'm not the judge. I think I may have been the sentencing judge here. I think I was, and then, or I was, let's see. I know it was originally before me, and then the cases were moved to Judge Nancy Blount. And then, so I'm not sure who's the sentencing judge here.
Well, according to the order, Your Honor, it's signed by Nancy Blount.
Okay, so Judge Blount actually sentenced him, but he began his case with me. Okay, so where are we at now? So I bring me up to speed.
Okay, Your Honor, Mr. Pilarski was placed on his probation on October 5th, 2020 for 1 year. He was ordered to pay $1,130 in assessed fines and costs, attend outpatient treatment, attend AA, attend the alcohol highway safety class, view the consequence video, random urinalysis, no drugs or alcohol unless prescribed by a physician, and terminate the alcohol teller and pay a $100 assessment fee. And that is correct on what Mr. Ryan indicated. The probation department and the defendant did come up with reach an agreement, and the probation department is going to recommend that Mr. Pilarski that he tests twice per month. He's going to provide verification of his AA meetings, and along with, we're going to adjourn this interim review hearing to ensure that Mr. Pilarski is on track with his probation conditions. And he's
And
going to
what led us
take
here? What was the violation?
contrary to the condition, Your Honor, Mr. Pilarski, at the time of the writing, he hadn't provided verification of his outpatient treatment as well as his alcohol highway safety class and Alcohol Anonymous meetings. He has failed to screen as directed, and he has failed to do the consequence video.
And so I guess where I'm at is why okay, it doesn't appear he's done much of a lot of what's being required here. And my main concern is that he's failing to screen it. It's a technical violation. Attorney Hill, what I'm saying is that my main concern is that he's failing to screen. So I have no idea as to whether he's testing positive or not. And if this court is keeping him out, making this being a danger to him or other persons. And I understand that you're saying that we're gonna adjourn this for 3 months for him to do what he needs to do, but he hasn't done it up to this point. And he's been on probation since October of 2020?
2020,
Right, so I'm concerned. Does he
Judge,
have a covenant now?
No, they removed the tether.
So there's no way, this court has no knowledge whatsoever whether he is using, even at this moment.
Judge, my client will test right now. He indicated, what I was trying to prevent, Judge, is a very long drawn out hearing. My client does have a rational explanation to why he hasn't been in compliance. And I was just trying to prevent, like I said, a long drawn out hearing. My client's going to start testing 2 times a month. He'll drop today if the court wants him to. There's been some communication issues between the probation department and my client. He has 20-something AA meetings under his belt. It is true he didn't start right at the very beginning, but there were some issues as it relates to, I guess, direction. My client was waiting for the probation department when he should have been just doing what he was supposed to be doing. He was waiting for some direction. He didn't get that. I think he understands now that ultimately this falls on him, and he's going to have to take the initiative. He's going to get set up for testing. I think there was just some confusion previously.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. He's gonna have to test today. He is going to, I'm going to, is Mr. Pilarski working?
No, Your Honor.
How does he receive income?
Unemployment.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Unemployment, Your Honor.
Unemployment? Okay, are you receiving stimulus?
I have not yet, but I
Are you looking
possibly
for
will
one?
today. I'm actually in the process right after I get done with this. I'm headed up to the Gaylord area for a interview with a company called Bio24. I have done my outpatient, which I approve of. I have attended the
Mr. Pilarski, I don't want you to say anything to me without consulting with your attorney.
Absolutely.
I just want to get employment.
I have an interview immediately after this. So I am finishing up this court and I am headed up to the Gaylord area to go to this interview. I contacted
Counsel.
Matt, just listen, just answer the judge's questions, yes or no, okay? So we understand that you're going for an interview. That's the only thing she asked was,
yes.
okay, stop.
Correct.
Counsel, I need to know, I'm not comfortable with the 2 times per month, and I'm not comfortable with you coming back in 3 months. I want you back next month. And I really want him testing at least once a week.
No problem, Judge.
I need to know, and I want it to be random. And if you miss one test, then we are immediately having an emergency probation violation hearing. And at that point, we will have many technical violations, and I'm going to truly consider all of my options. This is not okay. He needs to start attending Alcohol Anonymous this week. He can find a meeting, or I can find one for him. His treatment, his outpatient treatment, I'm not sure, Officer McCall, you need to make sure that he is signed up to begin that either this week or at the latest next week.
Judge, he actually has a certificate of completion and he actually has a counselor. So all that documentation is going to be sent to Ms. McCall, and he is currently in AA. he's going to send all that to Ms. McCall as well.
Okay, okay. My main concern, I said, are these failure to screens. It
I
is not only unacceptable. If he misses one, I want to be notified immediately. All right, Mr. Pilarski, do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, that does conclude this hearing for today. If I can get a new order to have signed with an amendment of his terms and conditions of his sentence. I want to sign that today.
No problem, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pilarski, be safe.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Your Honor, before you let him go, you did state that you want him to return one day next week. Will you go put a date?
Next month, and that date will be April 23rd, 2021 at 8:35 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barber.
Your Honor, can you please repeat that? I'm sorry. April 23rd?
April 23rd, 2021 at 8:35 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
Attorney Hill, is there anything else you need to cover?
No, nothing, Judge.
Okay, all right. You both have a wonderful weekend. Please be safe. Mr. Pilarski, make sure that you answer Officer McCall's call when she calls you today, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Uh-oh.
We'll take a brief recess. I removed Officer Hill.
What is your name? What is your name? There you go. Okay, you good. You're not good.
What happened?
Attorney Hill, I'm so sorry. That was completely my fault. I thought that, I totally forgot that you're actually our house now. I thought you were retained. My apologies. Bringing in.
Who do we want, Judge?
All right. Can I have, I'm gonna bring in Paul Crawl at this time. All right, Mr. Crawl, we're ready to proceed, sir. Calling case 144344957, City of Detroit versus Paul Crawl. Count 1 misdemeanor, driving while license not valid. Appearances for the record.
Brian Hill, P68445, on behalf of Mr. Prawl. Mr. Prawl, state your name for the record, please.
Paul K. Prowl.
Thank you. Counsel, today's the date and time scheduled for an arraignment on the bench warrant. Your client has not been arraigned.
Waive formal reading, Judge. Stand mute.
A plea of not guilty will be entered on your client's behalf, and there is a warrant on the file.
There is, I'm sorry, Judge?
There's a warrant on the file.
I'll ask the court to set aside the warrant.
So ordered.
Judge, I'm asking the court to use the memorandum of understanding. This is a state matter. My client wishes to plead. Would the court consider, instead of a fail to display, which is basically the same thing as a no-ops, would the court consider an allowing unlicensed person to drive? This is his last remaining matter besides one reinstatement fee before he gets his license back.
All right, is the memorandum of understanding only allow for a failure to display?
It does. I was hoping the state prosecutor would be here on this one. I don't see him giving any opposition, but that's what I was going to ask for.
I did call him. Let me see if he's still available.
Okay, let's see if we can get in touch with him. Mr.
Thank you,
Pearl,
Judge.
Okay? Mr. Pearl? I'm gonna
Yes,
place
ma'am.
you in a. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's call another case. I'm gonna bring in Frederick, Powers. Mr. Powers, we're ready to proceed with your case, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Calling case P1110686, City of Detroit versus Frederick Powers, count 1 misdemeanor driving while unlicensed, count 2 misdemeanor improper plates, count 3 misdemeanor no insurance. Appearances for the record.
Brian Hill, on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Powers, please state your name for the record.
Frederick Powers.
There's a way forward, you can stay on mute.
If not guilty, will be entered on your client's behalf.
Judge, if there's a warrant, ask the court set aside the warrant. My client's going to take advantage of the plea, pleading to fail to display, dismissing the rest. Will stipulate the probable cause.
Okay, Mr. Powers, please raise your right hand for the court. You swear or affirm the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may lower your right hand at this time. Counsel, did you and your client review the advice of rights together?
Did.
I'm sorry?
We did, Judge.
Mr. Powers, do you understand that if I accept your plea today, that you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you will also not be able to call any witnesses in your defense at trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you will not be able to cross-examine any prosecution witnesses at trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you will be giving up your right to testify or to remain silent without any inference being drawn from your silence?
Yes, ma'am.
And lastly, do you understand that you're giving up your presumption of innocence and the requirement that guilt be proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Powers, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or promised you anything beyond this plea recommendation to get you to tender a plea of guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty on your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. At this time, the court would like to direct your attention to the date of September 2nd, 2020 at approximately 1:40 p.m. Were you in the area of East 7 Mile Road and Keating Street in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Were you driving a 2001 gray Chevrolet vehicle?
Yes.
And on that date, time, and location, sir, were you driving while unlicensed?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are you satisfied with the factual basis for this plea?
I'm satisfied.
The court is satisfied and will accept your client's plea of guilty to an amended charge to failure to display pursuant to the recommendation with the stipulation of probable cause. Counsel, at this time, please address this court on behalf of your client at this time.
Nothing, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Powers, are you currently employed, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that full-time employment for you?
No, part-time, 7 days a week.
Okay, the court's going to impose a minimum fine of $5, mandatory court cost in the amount of $190, leaving you with a balance owing today of $195, sir. Are you able to make this payment today, or do you need time to pay?
I could pay today, $195.
That is correct, sir. The court is going to send you by way of chat information for you to make payment to this court, okay? It's going to come up on your screen. I'm going to ask that if you are on a phone or a device, if you could screenshot this information, that would be helpful. The court will also send it to your attorney by way of chat just so that he has it as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, there you are. The court has a new system. You can pay using phone pay. You can call that number. Did it pop up on your screen, Mr. Powers?
Yes.
All right, and did you screenshot that information?
I don't know how to go back to it.
Okay, I'll send it again.
Okay.
If you see a message or a thing that says chat, you see anything that says chat or more with 3 dots and you can click chat, you can open it up. Okay, you must have received it.
Here you go.
Yeah, we got plenty more, huh?
I'm going to bring in Ms. Pope at this time, counsel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're talking to the officer. No, I mean, because she got the file and everything.
Ms. Cole? Ms. Pope? Ms. Pope, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Hi, hello. Are you?
Hold on, sorry.
Our calling is P1007-534, City of Detroit versus Tara Pope. Count 1 misdemeanor, fraudulent false insurance information. Count 2 misdemeanor, no assurance. Appearances for the record.
Ryan Hill on behalf of Ms. Polk. Ms. Polk, say your name for the record, please.
Matera Pope.
Judge, we'll wait for readings to mute.
Plea of not guilty will be entered on your client's behalf.
Judge, we're asking for a bench trial date.
Okay, the court is going to continue your not guilty plea, Ms. Pope. Counsel, Ms. Pope, are you waiving your physical appearance today, and are you agreeing to have this case heard by Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, and are you agreeing to have your bench trial held by Zoom as well?
Yes.
Counsel, have you and Ms. Pope reviewed her advice of rights today?
You've gone over the rights, Judge, yes.
Okay, and Ms. Pope, you understand that by requesting a bench trial that you're waiving your right to a jury trial date?
Yes.
Okay, the court is going to schedule your bench trial for May 21st, 2021 at 8:35 a.m. The court is going to enter a personal bond in the amount of $200, so your cash bond is no longer in place. Ms. Pope, are you still located on Balfour Road? Please don't tell the court the numbers of your home address.
Yes.
Okay, we will be sending you a notice in the mail with the time and date of your next hearing date to that address on file, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pope. You have a great day and please be safe.
Thank you, you too.
Take it back. All right, at this time, the court is bringing in Selma Peterson. All right, Mr. Peterson, good morning to you. Calling case P606842, City of Detroit versus Simba Peterson, count 1 misdemeanor failure to display a valid operator's license not on person, count 2 misdemeanor driving a registered or untitled vehicle misdemeanor, count 3 no insurance misdemeanor. Also calling case 173-807-4911, City of Detroit versus Simba Peterson, count 1 driver's license expired. Appearances for the record.
Ryan Hill on behalf of Mr. Peterson, state your name, sir.
You are muted, Mr. Peterson.
Peterson.
There you go. State your name again. State your name again. Mr. Peterson, state your name again, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, my phone was ringing and the sound went out.
State your name, sir.
Simba Peterson.
Judge, will wait for reading, stand mute.
Not guilty will be entered on your client's behalf.
Your Honor, my client wishes to avail himself, actually, it's a memorandum of understanding. Judge, would the court be inclined to do, he's got a no insurance and no registration. Can we plead him to 2 counts of improper plates, dismiss the remaining 2 counts? And if so, my client wishes to take advantage of that.
And where do you see that under the MOU?
My understanding is the MOU, anything insurance related, they amend to improper plates, and then the registration you can plead straight up to. It's the same thing. So maybe what I'd ask is the insurance to be amended to improper plates. And I think that's in the MOU, isn't it, Judge?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. So he has a failure to display, an unregistered, and a no insurance all on one case. And under here, if he's pleading, if the defendant is charged with invalid license under 301, which he's not, unregistered and uninsured, he's charged with the invalid license count. So the failure to display looks like that's the lowest that will go. But then if I look to the 2 count of the unregistered and the no insurance together.
Judge, in reality, he could plead to a failure to display and no registration. It's the same thing. He could plead just straight up to those and dismiss the other 2.
Well, the way it reads is when a defendant is charged with 1 count of unregistered motor vehicle and 1 count of uninsured motor vehicle or no insurance, if the defendant pleads guilty as charged to uninsured motor vehicle or no insurance, the prosecutor's office will dismiss the unregistered motor ticket, but that's not what you want, right?
I couldn't hear you, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
The single count, there's two different ways I can do this. He can plead as charged to the failure to display and also plead as charged to the driving unregistered, to the no insurance with the dismissal of the no registered. Or he can plead guilty as charged to the failure to display, and I can amend the unregistered to improper plates and dismiss the no insurance.
Yes, that's fine, Judge. The latter, what you just said, would be perfect.
Okay. Do you all need to speak up regarding this? Have you already spoke about this?
Judge, we did.
Now, the misdemeanor, the driver's license expired, that's a misdemeanor, and that's written under, that's one count, and that's a separate case, so you can't use that's just on the one case. The driving while license expired, and that's written under 301, that can be amended to FTD, failure to display. Counsel, do you understand?
I do, Judge. That's fine.
Okay, are you sure that you all don't need to speak again?
No, we went over this, Judge. He knows he was pleading to two and two are being dismissed. You understand that, right, Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Okay.
Just pleading to 3 counsel, two
Oh,
FTD.
and Judge, I'm sorry. If he's pleading to 3 counts, then I'll wait for the state prosecutor then. I apologize. I'm sorry. I thought that the MOU allowed for 2 for 2, but
No. It would have if they were all in the same case, but they're not.
okay.
And that's the way you read. You still reached out to the state prosecutor?
Yeah, he's in another courtroom, and he said as soon as he's
So
done.
these are the 2 cases for him. just to
Okay.
let you know.
Okay.
Can I have you? All right, Mr. Peterson, I'm gonna place you in a waiting room to give your attorney an opportunity to speak with the state prosecutor regarding your cases. Okay, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, calling in Pearson. Are we ready for Petway?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll call that case next.
And we have some preliminary matters on that.
All right, Mr. Pearson, all right, we're ready. Calling case P11-03515, City of Detroit versus Lazaro Pearson, count 1 misdemeanor, loud music from a vehicle more than 10 feet away. Calling case P11-03514, City of Detroit versus Lazaro Pearson, count 1 civil infraction, careless driving. Count 2 civil infraction, no valid registration certificate. Appearances for the record.
Brian Hill, on behalf of Mr. Pearson. Mr. Pearson, state your name, please.
Lazaro Pearson.
Judge, wait for him, reading, stand mute.
This is a formal hearing, counsel.
Oh, Judge, you're right, it's trial. My client's going to avail himself of the offer. He's going to be pleading guilty to loud music under a delayed sentence. The remaining matters will be dismissed. We'll stipulate the probable cause.
Okay, did Officer Marcus Cummings check into this courtroom?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. Tamika Horn on behalf of the city, P70303, and Officer Cummings did check in this morning and is aware of the offer.
Understood. Okay. All right. So thank you. Okay. So we have count 1, 3-month delayed sentence, max fine. Is that what that is? Fine.
Yep. Yes, it is.
And then we have dismissal of 1 and 2. Okay. Understood. All right, Mr. Pearson, please, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
All right, you may lower your right hand at this time. Mr. Counsel, have you and your client reviewed his advice of rights today?
You've gone over all the rights, Judge, yes.
Okay, Mr. Pearson, do you understand that if I accept your plea of guilty today under a delayed 3-month sentence, Mr. Pearson, a delayed sentence very much is treated as a term of probation. I will be delaying passing sentence upon you today. That can last up to 1 year with limited exceptions. If for any reason during that term of 3-month delayed sentence, you are not compliant with any of the terms of my sentence, my probationary sentence today, then I do retain jurisdiction over this case and I can change your sentence at any time. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
If you are compliant within that 3-month term, your case will be dismissed upon the showing of compliance. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you wish to proceed with this plea of guilty today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if I accept your plea of guilty today, that you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you'll be giving up your right to have witnesses called to your defense at trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you'll be giving up your right to testify without your right to testify or to remain silent without any inference being drawn from your silence?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that you're giving up your presumption of innocence and the requirement that guilt be proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Pearson, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or promised you anything beyond this plea recommendation today to get you to tender a plea of guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty on your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Pearson, at this time, the court would like to direct your attention to the date of August 26, 2020 at approximately 5:42 p.m. Were you in the area of Harper Avenue and Harvard Street in the city of Detroit?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you driving a 1999 black Honda vehicle?
No, ma'am. I was driving a black 99 Harley Davidson.
Oh, Harley Davidson, that's what that meant. Harley Davidson, black Harley Davidson, I'm sorry. Okay, and on that date, time, and location, were you driving while playing music loud enough to be heard more than 10 feet away from the vehicle that you were driving?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are you satisfied with the factual basis for this plea?
I'm satisfied with the factual basis.
Thank you. The court is satisfied with accept your client's plea of guilty under the recommended 3-month delayed sentence to 1 count to loud music from motor vehicle more than 10 feet away with a stipulation of probable cause according to the agreement.
So stipulated.
Thank you. At this time, counsel, can I hear from you and Madam Prosecutor regarding sentencing, prior to sentencing?
Judge, I detest these tickets, especially when you're talking about a bike. The way that the ordinance is written, of course you can hear 10 feet outside a bike. You have it on 2 or 3, you can hear it. I've never ever, I understand what the ordinance is meant to do. It's for those cars with the big kicker boxes and the shaking. I get that. But I've never appreciated an officer that issued a citation to a motorcycle or a moped because you just turn the radio on and you're in violation of a misdemeanor. So I just asked the court to take that into consideration in terms of fines and costs. I think it's ridiculous. Technically, he's in violation of the law the moment he turns that radio on. If that's the case, they shouldn't put radios on bikes. My opinion, that's all I have to say, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
And again, good morning, Your Honor. Tamika Horn on behalf of the city. And I disagree with counsel. I have actually been on and ridden with a Harley Davidson rider, and the bike itself is louder than the radio. And to me, I don't understand why it has a radio. You can hear those radios from the street, and I have even in my own neighborhood. So the music is loud. It's a disturbance of the peace to the public and to neighborhoods. I can't recall where this particular vehicle or motorcycle was, but I'm willing to bet it's a residential area, and it's a disturbance of the peace. We're asking for maximum fines and costs. It's my understanding that this is a repeated offense, and that's just.
I'm going to object. There's no bearing whatsoever on sentencing. In fact, I mean, the fact that my client has been very specific about this particular officer, who basically waits outside of his home on a daily basis, looking for him to commit some type of traffic infraction so he can get pulled over.
So I would ask to strike that. Our officer is not here to testify.
He told me that.
Defendant told himself of the plea.
He told me that my client is a problem. Right, and my client's indicated to me on several occasions he's a valid CPL holder. Right, he's had no prior criminal history whatsoever. Obviously, if he has a permit for a gun, and he's being harassed. So I would just ask the court normal fines, normal costs, and allow him, if he does pay the ticket, Judge, for it to be dismissed prior to the 3 months.
And one last thing, Your Honor, if anybody's being harassed, it's the citizens of the city of Detroit with that loud radio.
Okay, the court will strike the information regarding the officer's testimony from the record as he is not here. However, what is the maximum fine for this case? Or do I need to look it up?
I believe it's $500. It is considered a misdemeanor, Your Honor.
I would stipulate to that, Judge, that the maximum fines are up to $500.
Okay. Mr. Pearson, a couple of questions for you from me. Is this your first time being sentenced with this type of charge?
Yes, ma'am.
It's your first time? You've never been sentenced to having loud music from a motor vehicle?
No, ma'am. That's my first Harley. I never had a motorcycle with music on it.
Okay, and were you in a neighborhood when you were doing this?
No, ma'am. I was on the main street. I was on Harper, leaving Casual in the main street, like a main street. You know?
Okay, Mr. Pearson, do you understand that having your music too loud is disruptive to communities?
Yeah, I do. I understand.
You understand that families do not want to hear music extremely loud going past their neighborhoods or inside their homes?
Man, once again, this was a public, like, this is an intersection, man. Mm-hmm.
That's not what I asked you. Do you understand that residents do not want to hear this music in their homes, in their neighborhoods? Do you understand that?
I understand.
All right. The court is going to sentence you All right, the court is going to sentence you to a fine of $250, and you shall not receive any related tickets for the same incident or occurrence arising out of playing music louder than 10 feet from the motor vehicle of any kind that you own or are operating at any time. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, that'll be that.
Judge, can I ask a question?
Yes,
Can I get 45 days to pay that ticket?
you have 3 months to pay the ticket, sir.
Oh, I got 3 months. I apologize.
You understand?
I understand, ma'am. I didn't hear that part. I apologize. Yeah, I understand.
Okay, you have until June 25th, 2021.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else we need to address, counsel, either party?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Nothing. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right. You're welcome. Goodbye. Have a great day, Mr. Pearson.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
You too. Goodbye.
The state prosecutor.
For the state prosecutor, but I need to, because I have to go back and finish. So
Yes, ma'am.
while he's talking to the state prosecutor, I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
There's a Sergeant Michael Jackson. There's another issue. Do you need to talk to Attorney Hill regarding that case?
Oh, yes, we can talk while you're out, Your Honor.
All
Yes.
right, and then, so is there Mario Petway, there was Prawl, there was Simba Peterson.
Yep, that's it.
There's no other cases ready for me to hear right at this moment, right? All those cases need to be spoken to either with the state prosecutor and or city prosecutor with the, okay.
Yes.
All right, we will stop the live stream and I will come